Twa, coach and athlete Sage Canaday of SageRunning.com here, back at the track here in Boulder, Colorado. We're going to do another running form analysis today with special guest Spencer Brown, aka the Athlete Special. I did a running form analysis with him several weeks ago. He's a really fast track runner, 3:39 for 1500, sub 4 minutes in the mile. But today we're going to be going closer to my college 5K pace, about 4:40 per mile, 69 seconds per 400 meter, a little compare and contrast, so to speak, of our running form. Me being an older and slower ultra mountain trail runner now, and Spencer being the fast, younger track guy. So it's a bit rainy out here today, but it's July 24th, 2020, and we'll get out there and see what we could do. Hey man, nice haircut.
Round two. I had my birthday yesterday, had to do it for the fans. Honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it looked, or I don't know. We'll let the viewers decide. It probably needs some work, but it's all for fun. It's all for fun.
Thumbs up or down for Spencer's new haircut. Happy belated birthday, man.
Thank you.
How old are you, 21 now?
23. It's bad. I'm getting old.
Ah, you're a young whippersnapper still. All right, Spencer, you're gonna lead me out on my workout 2x400 at 69. It's gonna be tough for me. Old college 5K PR pace.
As Sage was saying, yeah, 34.5 through 200. I'm gonna try and lead him through buttery smooth. Looking forward to trying this out. We haven't run this pace in quite some time, so it's gonna be a little difficult trying to find that pace, but we'll get you guys that content.
Kipchoge's marathon pace and Shelby Houlihan's 5K pace as well, so. This is just a jog for you though. You've got so much speed reserve. What's your 400, like 48?
49, but...
You got 49 speed. I've run a 56, 57 all out back in my college days, so like the speed reserve difference will be interesting to see, I think, in the form analysis. It's just a jog for you.
Yeah, it's gonna look, I'm excited to see what it looks like. That was on though. We were 34. Sage, he's a little out of breath. For all you VO2 Max production guys, he doesn't want to talk to the camera right now, but he'll be ready to rip another 4 at 69.5. He looked good though. He pulled up on me in the end. He was trying to drop me, but yeah. Hopefully you guys think I'm funny.
workout. Just a jog for this guy. All right, so for the running form analysis, the first thing we see is a lot of the same things that we've seen in my other running form videos, but running next to Spencer, who's super fast and efficient, really brings these flaws in my form out. And the first one's with the stride rate or cadence. how many steps I take in 1 minute. And I'm well over 205 here. The Strava data confirm this. My stride rate is much faster than Spencer's, and usually this is a good thing. For most people, if you're running a 5K and your stride rate is too slow, or it's under about 165, that means you're overstriding, there's too much impact force, and you could probably be more efficient if you take a faster stride. However, if you're up to at 205, it's more like you're sprinting, and it's probably not going to be as sustainable for you for an entire 5K. It's going to get your breathing and heart rate up really fast. So the flaw here is, I know I've run a 5K at this pace back in my college days with a much longer stride, and if the stride is longer, that means the stride rate will be lower. So ideally probably more in 190 range or 185 steps per minute, which is about probably what Spencer is doing right here, 180 to 190 steps per minute. That's an ideal efficiency for a lot of people. And so if we look at the slow motion analysis of why my stride is so short, a lot of it has to do with a lack of power, a lack of push-off power, utilizing the glutes or the butt muscles and the hamstrings to pull back and push off and spring off the ground forcefully, but also a lack of float or hip extension kicking back with the stride. And I've had this problem with tight hip flexors for a long time. Kind of some of it could be genetic as well, but see how much farther back Spencer's leg's going. And if we look at the foot that's in the air, we could see that he's got a lot more plantar flexion. It's a lot more aerodynamic looking than my foot, which is kind of locked in dorsiflexion. And I'm thinking part of that is because I haven't pushed off the ground as hard with my ankle, and that force spring coming off the ground hasn't pushed those toes back. Another interesting thing is, even with my high stride rate, I'm actually kind of overstriding a bit, and this is really apparent with the classic heel strike. See, Spencer's coming down more on his forefoot, ball of foot. I'm still heel striking like I always have been, but with a short stride and a high stride rate, to be heel striking is a bit ridiculous, and it kind of just shows that I have a lack of the forward lean and a lack of pulling back quick enough with the hamstrings to get into that next stride. And then again, of course, we're going to talk about that forward lean. In this frame, you see I have that arch in my back, that anterior pelvic tilt. It's a bit excessive. It's been a problem of mine for the last couple years. Been trying to work on it. It causes a lot of lower back pain, SI joint issues, things like that, but it really saps the power in your stride. And if you have that forward lean and momentum going, like Spencer's showing, you can see Spencer's back is not arched so much in the lower part. He's more rigid and straight because he's got his whole body leaning forward through the pelvis, through the back. I'm trying to overcorrect too much. I have my back arched because my upper body is a bit too tight and it's a bit too upright. It's almost exactly 90 degrees perpendicular to the running surface. You could really use all of your power muscles, your glutes, your hamstrings, even springing off with your calves to generate a more powerful and a longer stride. Finally, the arm swing. I've been notorious for having really bad shoulder mobility, really tight upper shoulders and neck, and kind of wingy elbows, but I've been thrashing too much. Part of it's genetic because I'm counterbalancing all the force and mass in my thunder thighs, but if you compare it to Spencer, he's got a nice relaxed arm swing forward and backwards with the elbows. I have too much vertical oscillation. If you look at my hands, there's too much up and down movement, I think, at the elbow joint and with the hands, and a lot of thrashing is what we see with the arms. And again, with the arm swing, that's probably the biggest individual genetic variation between runners. There's some very fast runners that have very weird looking arm swings, but most of them look more like Spencer, very efficient, compact. You're not sprinting, you're not flailing too much, hopefully, and you're not wasting energy like I am here. But I think a lot of the problem stems from the imbalances in the pelvis and the legs and not generating enough force, and it kind of transfers through your upper body. So what can I improve on? Increased flexibility and mobility. Tight, I'm running too tight and rigid. It's better to run more fluid and relaxed. And to improve that power in the stride, I need to probably get back to doing some more of those drills. Some drill videos that I've touched on earlier in my career in college and high school running, as well as adding more power to the stride. A great way to do that, especially if you don't have gym access, is to go to a hill, a short, steep hill, and practice doing really fast strides or even hill sprints, almost close to top speed, straight up a hill. It's going to help you engage those glutes and iron out those form issues, but also work on a forward lean. Finally, range of motion goes back to not sitting at your desk so much or sitting in the car too much, doing those stretches, doing those dynamic drills. We're talking about doing things like lunges or not sitting in your chair or car too much, but actually stretching out the hip flexors and engaging with some balancing exercises, maybe single leg hops, as well as things like skipping and butt kicks. So that's my running form analysis. Shout out and thanks to Spencer Brown, the Athlete Special. Check out his channel. It really shows his good running form next to my flaws, especially on a flat track at these paces.
That was good though. Sage looked good.
Old 5K pace felt really fast.
Hey,
I was breathing hard.
rumor has it, he's getting back on the track this fall.
Sure to check out Spencer's channel, The Athlete Special. I'll link to it in the description below, as well as right up there. It's a sub 4-minute miler, 3:39, training out here in Boulder. Check him out on Instagram and TikTok too.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
TikTok.
Appreciate it.
This was fun. Thanks for having me again.